10 things that you need to start your filmmaking career. What are they? I'll let you know after this. So you're starting your filmmaking journey. Or maybe you've been doing it for a little bit, but you're thinking about getting some new gear. Either way, I got 10 things for you that every beginning filmmaker needs. 1, you need a camera. There's tons of options out there. There's Sonys, there's Canons, there's Reds or Blackmagics or Aris. There's tons of options out there. Thing is first thing you got to decide is what is your budget. Once you can figure out what you want to spend on a camera, then you can kind of go down the list. Now, if you're trying to just get into filmmaking in general, there are some cameras that I would say are kind of your baseline that you should be looking at. You want to be probably shooting something that's in 4K, sticking with the competition so that you can kind of get the same image quality as what other filmmakers are getting. Or maybe you have a higher budget and you want to go with a higher resolution. You can go with that as well. For me, though, some basic ones that you might want to take a look at is Sony has some cameras. They have the FX30 that you can look at, the FX3, FX6, A7S III. Those are kind of ranging anywhere from like $2,000 all the way up to about $6,000, depending on what your price range is. Canon has the R5, R6, R7 if you're trying to do photos and videos, kind of mirrorless cameras that they've came out with. And then they also have like the C70s or the Mark series, the 200s, the 300s, and the 500s. Can kind of range anywhere from your $2,000 all the way up to your $10,000 range. And then you have what I think is a really nice affordable set is Blackmagic has the Pocket Cinema sets, which are, they have the 4K version, the 6K version, and then they have the Ursa Mini, all ranging at different prices. And I think that you should check those out. But that is the number one thing. And do your research. Whatever is best for you. Whether you want high frame rates or high resolution, low light capability, do your research before you buy your camera. Usually it's a big purchase. Not saying that you can't ever upgrade, but you kind of want to be nailing that one at the first shot. You don't want to buy something that you're not happy with. So do your research. There's tons of videos on YouTube. We're going to be dropping some videos on some of the ones that we currently own. But there's tons of great guys out there making great content on all of these different products. Just take a look at them. Number 2, the next thing that goes with your camera is your lens. Okay, so lenses are expensive. Glass, people say, is expensive. For me, glass is almost as important as a camera or more important than your camera. Depending on what you buy, will dictate your focal lengths or your aperture and how fast your camera is. Does it fit full frame or not? You want to look into these things. Depending on what camera you buy will dictate kind of what lens you buy. We actually released our perfect lens video. It's going to be in the description. It'll be up here somewhere as well. Definitely check that out. But you can get all different type of focal lengths, all different type of apertures, ranging from your couple $100 lenses all the way up to, I mean, I've seen thousands and thousands of dollars for lenses. But you want to find something that fits your needs. Whatever you're going to be shooting will dictate also what focal lengths you need. Number 3, my most important item on this list, lights. Light seems like it's the one thing that you can kind of cut your money on. I think that it's where you should spend your money on. Having great lights for what you shoot will make your life so much easier. Having a nice big bright key light to light your subject's face. Having a light that can separate you or your subject from the background. Having lights to be able to create a scene or a mood. That is what you're going to want to get. Now, like I said, there's tons of different lights out there. The recommendations for me is that I think that aperture is kind of killing the game. Everybody kind of wants aperture lights. They got ranges all the way from like 100 watt lights all the way up to like 2,000 watt lights, but they're killing the small game market, and they're I guess a little bit pricey, but depending on what brands you go with, I actually think they're pretty affordable. But you're like, man, Curtis, I can't spend like $2,000 on a light. Work your way up to it. Buy some lights that you can afford. I know Small Rig is stepping into the light game, and they have some. Nano Light has some lights that are cheap and affordable. Do your research. How many are you going to need? What kind of things are you going to be shooting? Those will dictate all those things, but you need lights. Number 4, you need a computer. If you're shooting something, you're going to have to edit it. So whether that be a desktop or a laptop, Apple, Windows, doesn't really matter. You just need something that will be able to run your program, whether that be Final Cut, whether that be Premiere, whether that be DaVinci. You need a computer that is going to be able to handle that process and whatever footage that you're going to be putting through that software. It needs to be able to run it and optimize it, because when you're sitting there and you're standing and just skipping like, you're going to get pissed. You don't want that to happen. You're going to be upset. So thing is look into it. We'll look into the specs. If you have to upgrade something, then upgrade that. It's going to save you more time in the long run. Editing software. You got to decide. Are you going to pay the $50 whatever dollars a month for Adobe and the cloud service? Are you going to buy DaVinci, the suite version? Are you going to go with Final Cut? You got to find an editing software, whichever one's, I guess, easier for you, or user friendly for you, or affordable to you. You got to find whichever one works the best. We actually have a video, again, talking about kind of the differences of some of those. We're going to leave a link in the description for that as well. It should be up here. Click on that if you want more information on those editing softwares. Number 6, a big one, super important, is an audio recorder. Okay, you're going to want the ability to capture audio, whether or not you're doing an interview or a documentary, or you're shooting maybe an ad for a company. You're going to want to be able to capture audio. Maybe it's a wedding. You're going to have to capture that audio. There's all different types of audio recorders out there. Tascam Zooms are kind of the top of the line products. Look into those, how many ports you need, how many mics you're going to run. But that's number 6, audio recorders. Mics for your audio recorders. Number 7, you're going to probably need boom mic. Mic that either attaches to shotgun to your camera or on a boom pole. You're going to want those type of mics. And so the thing is that there's those type of mics, and there's also lavaliers. You're going to look into those as well, depending on what you're shooting. If you're shooting a lot of interviews, or maybe you're shooting weddings, you're going to want that on your groom or your bride. You're going to have to look into different mics. There's all kinds of ones, Sennheisers and stuff like that. Rode mics, and Rode makes some very affordable, good shotgun mics that you can get. That's number 7, mics. Number 8, this is a weird one, different one. Maybe people won't think that is necessary. I personally feel that is 100% necessary. ND filters. If you plan on shooting anything outside during the day, at any time probably after 9 a.m., the sun is going to be scorching. You're going to see it. It's going to come into your footage. It's going to blind you. You need ND filters to be able to cut down that. It's kind of like wearing sunglasses. You can just see better, see the footage better. You're going to want ND filters. There's all kinds of ND filters with all different variable NDs with all different types of levels of how dark they get. You're going to want to do your research. For me, honestly, the best way that I find about going about this, if you're shooting film, is buy a matte box. Buy a matte box that comes with an ND filter. I know Small Rig has them. Tilta has them. There's also some really high-end brands that have some. That will save you so much time. You can put it on or your rig, slide it onto the rails, swap out your lenses, and just keep moving. Keep it pushing and just keep shooting. It'll make things a way faster and easier system for you to be able to run and gun and shoot. Or you can just go buy them from like Tiffin or whatever, and you screw them on. It just can be longer if you're swapping out lenses. You gotta swap the filters. That's why I like the matte box option. It's just my suggestion. You don't have to go with that, but look into it. ND filters are going to save your butt. Number 9, stands. Stands are an annoying thing to buy, but you gotta have them. Light stands, mic stands, boom poles, this, that, knuckles that go with it. Stands will save you. C-stands are really where I feel like the best bang for your buck is. They can handle a wide load, so depending on what you put on it, they can handle the weight. Put a stand back on it, and set it, kind of forget it. They're always great. But they are heavy, they're big, they're inconvenient to carry around. So sometimes they're a little bit of a nuisance, a little heavy. But you're going to need these stands. I think they're crucial. Number 10. Number 10 is a very underrated one. I was trying to think of what number 10 would be. But it's got to be the good old faithful tripod. Honestly, the tripod, you need it. Need it. You're not going to stand there shooting a webinar, seminar, or anything for about an hour just while holding your camera. Like, man, your arms are going to fall off. Get a tripod. Like, they aren't that expensive. You don't got to go out there and spend $2,000 on a tripod. Go on there. Amazon's got a tripod. Now, don't buy a chintzy tripod, like some $20 tripod. You're going to want it to actually be able to hold the weight of your camera. But you're going to want a tripod. Tripods, they're great. You know, you need them for no matter what you shoot. Interviews, especially, weddings are a big one too. They're going to save your behind. You throw them on there, you let it go, you can let it keep rolling. You don't gotta worry about falling over or you know, whatever. Also, you know, have a stable shot, and you know you're going to have a stable shot. So that was number 10, tripods. For me, 10 things. You need these 10 things. These are what I would say the essential kit to filmmaking. Go out, buy these things. Maybe start with something small. Maybe start with the tripod ND filter, and maybe you buy some stands. Start accumulating these. You don't have to just drop a bunch of money on it. Buy one thing at a time, you know, or maybe you buy a less version camera than what you want just to get started. Go out there. I mean, I put this list together because I think that this is essential that you need to go out there and start your career in filmmaking. But you don't have to rush. Start accumulating these things, book a couple jobs, get paid a little bit, go spend a little bit of money on some things, and then just upgrade, slowly build and build and build till you can get the gear that you want. All right, guys, thank you for tuning into this video. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. We're going to be adding some of the things that I suggest in this video down in the description, just some Amazon links that can give you some ideas of what products to look for. And check them out. Check out some of the lights and stuff like that. We're going to be posting those down in the description. Also follow our social medias. We have everything linked down in the description. We appreciate it. And then like, comment, subscribe to this video. Everything that you guys are doing is furthering what we're able to do. So we appreciate you. And until next time.